Welcome to Finding the Voices, to yet another episode of 1001 Thagatchari. So today we have a very special guest from Australia, whom I lovingly refer to Manjoo, presenting Manjoo Sharma Lalwani, joining us all the way from Australia. Right now it is 5:20 in America, and it is 8:30 p.m. No, or 9:30.
9:30.
9:30 p.m. So look at, like how we are coordinating the different timelines. So first
Yeah.
of all, a big welcome, Iche, to 1001 Thagatchari. I know you have been very, very supportive of many of our projects for Finding the Voices and have been in our show earlier.
Thank you, Monica. Before we start, I just have to let you know that my puppy is pulling my hand. So in case he makes any noise, disturbance. But thank you very much for remembering me again. And
So yeah, let's start with a little bit of your introduction and tell us what you have been doing, and update us on your latest, I guess, I don't know what you're involved in. Yeah, happenings.
Okay. My name is Manjoo Sharma Lalwani, but my maiden name is Manjoo Bachaspati Mayu. I Kasamthong Dagini. But I left home in 1986 after my year 10. Bombay like Tambachatle. And then I left India in 99 to go to New Zealand. So I've been away from home, living in Australia and New Zealand for the past 20 years. I have always worked. As an immigrant, I just picked up any job. And where I am today, I think I'm at a good space, working for a very good organization in Australia called Standards Australia, which is a not-for-profit organization, and we develop Australian standards. So I manage a team, and I also manage international committees developing ISO standards, which makes me travel quite a bit. And that's what I do in the work front, which pays my bill. But I think, apart from that, I've not been able to do much, but wherever I can, I like to do a bit of charity and helping people, inspiring people, especially new immigrants or people who are going through tough time, to let them know that, hard work pays off and you get where you want to be. So I think that's where I'm aiming at. And maybe once my younger son finishes uni, I think I will be able to do some real work in that front.
Yeah, absolutely. So just for our listener, when you say as an immigrant, I picked up any jobs, can you elaborate a little bit, just so that,
sure.
People get a glimpse of, how immigrants kind of, I guess, go to the grassroots, and because sometimes I think people see our life to be very glamorous.
Yeah. Yeah, my life is actually, I think, my own success story. Like having, had the, I think, opportunity to go to Little Flower School, which, at that point was, I think, the only English girls' school or convent school. And then also in Bombay, studying in Sophia's, which was one of the best colleges. And then I did my master's in English literature from Bombay University. In spite of that, and also having worked in Bombay for a few years as an executive assistant, having had all the experience, still when I went to New Zealand, I couldn't get any job. I actually thought I would at least get a waitress's job, but even I didn't even get that. So I actually started my working career cleaning at the Westfield malls, cleaning toilets at the Westfield malls, pushing the trolley. Which for me was fine, because I had to make it work, and I had to make that happen anyhow, and I didn't mind doing that. And as you know, out of India, labor is respected, so I didn't feel any small, but yes, of course, the dreams that I had, I had times when I would go to the toilet and cry because I didn't want to cry at home, because my husband was already feeling bad, and I had to be the strong one saying it's okay, because I needed money to pay rent. And Even my husband was looking for a job, and he did the same. He just picked up anything, counting. I don't know what he was doing in some warehouse. Yes, so that is my struggle, I think, as an immigrant. But yes, I did eventually get a job in an office, and then I worked hard. I learned what I could, and had to work long hours, walk miles because didn't have a car, didn't have money to buy a car. But yes, my family helped, and somehow, yes, as I said, hard work pays off. I think when you work hard, even God helps you. If you just sit and pray, I think nothing happens.
Yeah, yeah, it should be, of course, praying, but added
Yeah,
with action. If there is no
yes,
action, there's going to be no movement.
yeah. So I think it's almost like when I look back, I can't believe I did all that. And then again, after 7 years in New Zealand, we moved to Sydney. Again, we have to start from scratch because we just moved. But it was easier here because I've already had New Zealand
Hmm.
experience, and where I am working today is the same job that I started with when I came to Australia. And yeah, even here I've worked so hard from really admin position to where I am today in 13 and a half years. And I think, like as I said, it's my own success story. And I would like to inspire people, especially young immigrants, not to give up. Sometimes it's easy to give up and say, oh, I'll go back. But if you work hard, you get there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you for sharing that very candidly because sometimes I know that, people don't like to share. But I
Yeah,
think we need more voices on, like what are the different steps we took to be really here, right? Like
yeah,
where
yeah.
we are right now. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Um, so, is there any other initiative or any other, I guess, topic which you would like to share about before we go to the Thagachari segment?
Uh, I think, of course, I think I believe I'm not sounding like just sectioning Manipur, but having known the history of Manipuri women, I think we are very strong. Or I guess rather the Northeast women, but because I come from Manipur, I can speak for Manipur. We are very strong, and we are also very independent. And as women in Manipur, no matter maybe the son is a chief minister or whatever, but they still go to Uma Kaitel and sell whatever. I
Mm-hmm.
think that blood runs in us, and I think I think we all should work no matter what you do. I think that I say in the context later on in your Thagatchari probably it'll come there, but I think it's very important for women to work and be independent financially. Uh,
Definitely.
yeah, no matter how rich your husband is, or it's not about money, it's about your identity, it's about getting there and be someone, no matter how small. But that's my aim, and whenever I meet people, that's what I say. It doesn't matter even if you're working few hours a day, but yeah,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm all for that too, because I think with financial independence of a woman, with
yeah,
that, it's not only about that, but it's the identity. It's about, how you feel, how you are treated, or even a small thing like, if I want to buy a gift for my mother,
yeah,
the fact that, I would get it from my own money, I think that
yes,
that is power,
yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly,
um yeah, and I have seen many women, like you said, like probably they are married to a very rich person, but I
mm,
do see that personality difference, even
yeah,
though, financially maybe they are better off. But even the way the husband would treat, right? Like I have
yeah,
seen like
some, yeah,
differences in that. So I think as a woman, I definitely would encourage other women to be financially independent, even if, like you said, it's for a couple of hours, even if you have to do part-time
yeah,
job or whatever. And again, like, being woman, being a mother, I know the struggle of how we have to kind of lay low in our career a little bit
yeah,
to kind of
yeah,
balance out. But
Yeah.
even with that, I think it is all worth it, when it comes to that identity and the strength and, being able to stand on your own feet in many situations.
Oh, definitely, definitely. It is a must. It is a must to get out there, dress up, go, and be in touch with what's happening in the world. And it just gives you a different high. Then it's not about having money even, sometimes it's about, yeah, you feel you're part of something, you're doing something.
Right.
At least for me, that's very important.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for me too. And again, like, when we talk about being immigrant, right? So I was working in India, but when I came over here, I had this period of transition of getting a work visa and searching for a job. And also, even like during, when my kids were born. So I think being open, right? Not like, oh, waiting for the perfect job
Yes,
or,
yes, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So one time I had taken this part-time job of being a caregiver for this lovely older woman, and she
Mm,
has dementia. So every morning I
mm.
would go and she wouldn't recognize me and I would
Oh,
introduce all over again. And in one of the day, and my job was to go and have breakfast with her and ensure that she takes her medication.
yeah,
But in one of the morning, like, she just like, I mean, she might have had some diarrhea or something, and she did potty right there in front of me.
mm,
And though it was not a part of my role, right? I mean, how do I live a
yeah,
older
yeah.
woman like in that state, right?
Mm,
So I helped her clean her up, but at the same time, like you said, like I'm like, oh my god, what am I doing, right?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it did teach me a lot, but I think the very fact that being open, doing
mm,
anything just to get through that phase.
yeah,
And eventually you will get to your final goal or what you want to be. But I think just getting out there and starting,
yeah,
right? So,
yeah,
yeah, I definitely echo, with your thoughts. And I think more and more women, like, I think you feel really empowered. Like you said, it's not only about money, it's about your personality, it's about going and meeting people, it's about having your space, right? Not just
yeah.
being bogged down. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly.
Cool. So lovely to start with this note. And also, I'm so happy to be reminded that, both of us are from Little Flower School and Sophia's College in
Oh,
Bombay.
oh, you're also from Safars?
Yep. I
Oh,
did my
nice.
junior
I didn't know
college.
that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. In fact,
Okay.
recently I went and I met Sister Ananda. I don't know if you remember, maybe she was not in your time.
Probably not my time. It's been a while.
Yeah, yeah. I just went recently and I was like, oh my God, I should go and, have a tour. And I went in and I met Sister Ananda. At that time, she was the warden, for
Okay.
the junior college
Mm,
section. And now she's the
yeah,
principal. So I was really happy to,
yeah.
kind of meet up.
I think
Uh,
it's such a prestigious college to be part of, isn't it?
yeah.
Safars.
Right, right. And
Mm.
I think, like, back to what you were saying, right? I think I'm so thankful to all the educational institute we have been a part of, because that
Yeah,
instilled and shaped us in our thoughts, value system, and, how we present ourselves, like in the line of career or personality.
100%, 100%.
All right. So, what's your dog's name?
Asterisk. He is
Asterix.
just, I don't know what's up. You can edit this. Hi, Monica. I knew this was going to happen because my son has gone to sleep. The other one is not here. That's why he's going crazy.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's fine. We are happy to have asterisks at the background. Yeah, so just to, before we start our segment of Thagatchari, when I started this, right, as you know, from the very beginning, you have been a part of our project in, for
Yes.
Finding the Voices. I met all these amazing people, and I felt that in many ways their work was not recognized, or not many people were pausing and saying, hey, what you're doing
Mm.
is great, or appreciating. And also, as I was going through my personal journey, I realized how important showing gratefulness.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
it
I live in gratitude, Monica. I live in
right.
gratitude.
So I
Mm.
think that elevates everybody. And I was like, wow, that's how the whole concept of 1001 Thagachari happen.
Very
And
good idea.
I believe that when we start practicing this, we'll be more connected. And also, not
Yeah.
only like, it's not only about the people whom we are appreciating, but it's also about us, right? And I'm sure you'll touch on
Yes.
that
Yeah.
more. It's
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
opening ourselves, opening our heart, and
Yeah.
elevating us in the personal growth line. So that's how this program came about. I think I
Yeah.
have covered more than 70 odd episodes, and my
Wow.
goal is to have 1001 and kind of
Yeah.
identify people within our community and create role models, because I know that a lot of young people, like, it was sad when I went to Little Flower School and I want to go to many other school and ask them, hey, who do you think, right? Who are your
Mm.
role model? Who do you look up? They did
Yeah.
mention a couple of names, but I know that there are lots and lots and lots of many people doing amazing work, right? So
Yes.
I want
Yes.
to, as a result of all this talk, I want to compile a book with role models, people whom we have nominated, people who inspire us, and, write a
Oh,
brief
nice. Mm.
thing about what they are doing and what is that, they are doing that inspires us. So that's the main basis about our project.
Okay. Very good. Very good initiative, Monica. Well done.
So having said that, I'll turn it over to you. And the nomination is three nomination: one at the personal level, one at the level of Manipur, and one at the level of global.
Okay. Personally, I think I'll have to say my dear husband. I hope I don't cry. I have actually just kind of been able to stop my tears. But I think it's because of him I am where I am today. He was an amazing man. Who really supported me, even with my job where I had to travel. I didn't want to travel, but he was the one who pushed me to travel and said, "Don't worry, I look after the kids." And when I would come back from my overseas trip, he would have iron all the clothes, cook all the food, and it's very rare, especially for men to do that. And he was very proud that I was doing in the career. I think I was in an office job. He worked night shift because he was not lucky, I think, like me, to get an office job. But he just didn't make me feel bad, or like, or he just supported me throughout, my, not that just career, but even as a person, what I wanted to wear, what I wanted to do. If I wanted to go dancing, he would take me. He just loved me as a human being, as a friend, not just like a wife. Of course, we were married, but I think he just made me what I am today. And what I am today, financially independent, strong, raising my two boys without him after his passing away very suddenly, is all because of what he did for me. So I think in my life, I think I will just remain grateful to him. Um, on the Manipur level, I think I'll have to just go close to me and say my dad and my mom, because they both, my dad was a professor and he retired as director of education, and my mom was a school teacher, was in NCC. I've seen my mother multitask, 5 days of the week, to the school teaching, and on a Sunday, the NCC parade. Um, I don't know how she did it. We were four of us, and it was all about education. My mother would, many Manipur bandhan thambai do sana,
Yes, yes.
literally with no earring. I remember this very vividly. My mother's sister asking her, going to a wedding without any sana, without any
Mm,
gold. And my mother was a very beautiful woman and still is, I must say. And she still looked beautiful without any gold, without any jewelry. But my aunt asked her, "Henang sana kaim season na chattuira luhong ba do?" And I
mm,
remember my mom saying, are they inviting me or my gold?
mm.
That
Yeah,
stuck to me, and it showed that my mom didn't care or didn't have to show to people. She could have worn arupa, to show,
yeah, yeah.
but for her, I think it was not important. she was going because you invited me, and there was no sana because she had banda loi thambane koi myam koi tamoi like tamba khot pa thabada.
Mm.
So that I think I got that lesson from her about education. And of course, my dad retiring as director of education, I know how much he worked for the education of Manipur or educating our people. As a kid, I used to see him writing books, writing letters to the education minister about the syllabus, including English in government schools. I remember because he used to dictate and I used to write for him,
Mm.
because he said that's the way you learn to write, you know. Um, and then even now, he hasn't stopped. He's himself a senior citizen, I think near going to be 80 soon or already 80. But he is still running or managing an old age home. And he spends most of his time and even his pension in that old age home, looking after people who are probably younger than him or 1 year elder.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think I get to hear a lot from strangers, even saying, "Oh, Nang Sanama Jai Machara, he's doing such good work," and So I think for me, what my parents are or have done or are doing, my dad, I think for Manipur, I think we need more people like him. I mean, he could be sitting at home. He's retired. He's very old in a way, but he still goes scooter, thauraga, or yeah, rickshaw. He still goes to that old age home looking after, you know, senior citizens. Uh, Thirdly, was it global?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not going to pick any global figure because I don't think I have anyone that I really kind of follow or admire. But I think this is my opportunity also to show my gratitude to the people I have in my life, my family, my mom, dad, brother, sister, my brother-in-law, and my friends from all over the world, and my husband's friends from all over the world. They say when you go through bad times is when you realize who is with you and who is not with you. I think I have been amazed at how many people love my husband and love me and my kids. I'm even at work, my workplace, my friends here in Australia. It's like amazing. Like people just leaving flowers at my desk, calling me, asking me how I'm doing on a monthly basis, coming to give me hugs. My best friend who is in Texas, she left everything and came for the funeral. And I think she had to email her work from the airport saying, "Hey, I'm going," not knowing whether her boss will allow her, but she still came. So I think, and many others, I can't name all of them. So I think my gratitude is going to be to the friends who are like family, in fact more than family for me, because of them I think I have been able to manage my life after my husband and bounce back so quickly, knowing how many people love me. I know that one person is gone, but how many people love me and love us. So I think, as you said, gratitude. I live in utter gratitude of all the people who wish us well, and you know, yeah, I think that's my global, Monica, and
Yeah.
including you, including me in this platform, and maybe able to share my story. So thank you.
No, absolutely. And, I definitely felt your grief and pain during those time. And, you had shared it in Facebook. And I think many, many people, in in their own way, like, try to be with you, right? And I
Yes,
felt like it was amazing. And um, I don't know, like, if you're open to, but can you share a little bit more on how you got through that phase? And uh,
surely,
some of,
surely.
yeah, yeah.
I think one thing I should probably mention about me, I don't know, somehow I have always been a very positive person. And I always think, I mean, I believe in the God up there. We are, as you know, we were Hindus, but went to a Catholic school, Catholic college, and we being in India, we go to mosque. I go everywhere.
Hmm.
So I think I believe in that one God, whoever is up there.
Right.
or the angels. And I think I've always believed that whatever he does for you is for your good. Maybe at that time you don't realize, like say, if I don't get a job, I know he has something better for me. So I don't whinge and cry. I always try to see the glass half full, not half empty.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I've always been like that. So I think that really helped me. And as you know, I know he passed away so suddenly, so I was not prepared at all. We were going to after India, we were going to go to Thailand for a holiday. So we had booked everything, a resort with the boys, and everything just crumbled in 2 days. I think for me at that point, my sister, my mom and dad, and my school friends, all of them just rushed to the hospital, airport. My brother's friends, like the whole of Manipur, I think came, and that helped me from there on, knowing how many people care for you. And I just
Mm-hmm.
stayed positive. And of course, I wanted to cry, but my two boys, I had to stay strong for them. And as you lost your dad, and if you saw your mom crumble, I think you would
Mm-hmm.
it'd be worse for you, right? And you are already a married woman with family. My boys are still young men. So I had to stay strong for them and also for my parents, because my mother was very, very, I think, affected by what happened, because Mapam the Laga,
Mm.
um, and having to take the body back to Bombay and all that, I think, and I couldn't see my parents weak. So I had to
Mm.
stay strong for them to let them know that I'm okay. ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯏꯃꯥꯅ ꯍꯪꯉꯦ, are you going back? ꯅꯪ Australia ꯆꯠꯈꯤꯗ꯭ꯔꯥ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ.
Mm.
Ima, my life is there. I'll be fine. I'll go. And that's when they worried kind of, are nang natumda tolop mo
Mm.
konaga. And Ima, Dinesh has made me so, uh, how do you say, supported me so much that yes, I will manage,
Mm.
which is such a good thing, right? To be able to say that, because I know lots of women, when they lose their husband, the money becomes a big problem as well. So that gave me a bit of security, knowing that yes, maybe not very, not a lot of money, but I'll manage to pay my bills.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I just stayed positive, mainly because with my husband, because he was a very, very happy guy. No matter what happened, if you ask him how are you doing, he'll always say first class. He will never even say okay. Even if he's in the even if he's in the operation theater, he'll say first class. So
Mm.
I said, okay, I will do that in his memory, that I will always be first class. I'll never be just okay, which was not easy. It was very hard. I was married for almost 24 years, few weeks short of 24 years. And I had known him for 25 years. And we have lived together alone, um, 20 years, gone through so many ups and downs. But I think I had to do it for him, because I know he would want me to be happy. He has always loved me dressing up. He's never liked me not dressed up. Um, so I had to just bounce back for him,
Right. Right.
so that
Yeah,
he be
and
up there.
I did see, like, like in your pictures, and I felt the energy coming back, and I was so happy to see, like, some of the recent pictures where you're like bouncing back,
Yes.
wearing all your colorful clothes back, and I'm like, yes, Iche is there. And when we chatted, I'm like, Iche, can you come to our Thagatchari show?
Yes, I'm back with a bang.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Love seeing you this way. And as you said, I think it's a wonderful way to, remember him, right? The way he wanted
Yes,
you to be and he saw you. And yeah, absolutely.
yes. Till I meet him again, I will be what I was, and maybe even better.
Yeah, definitely. So, how are the boys doing? How did they cope up?
I think it was a very difficult year for us in many ways, because my eldest son, after completing a double degree for 5 years, which my husband and I waited for that actually, that year, that moment, uh, he was starting a job with KPMG, and my younger son was giving his year 12 exam, HSC, which was very, very crucial, because that was what was going to decide his future. So when we came back, I just I went back to work very quickly, even though my bosses said you don't have to come back, take your time. But I wanted to get back to normal, at least for the boys, just to let them know that okay, mama is okay going to work. So I kept the atmosphere very happy, music, TV, whatever, as how it would be. I tried not to cry too much. I cried in my room, in my bathroom. We also cried together at times, but I always said, Papa is always around. Talk to him. I could feel him. I don't know whether you
Mm,
believe in it, but
yes.
I could feel him, and I knew that he was around, and I know that he's around. Maybe now he's got a bit busy. I think because I'm better, he doesn't. I don't feel him a lot, but when I need him, he's there. And I think my boys have been, I would proudly say, raised well, to do the right thing. And I said to them, what from now on, you have always worked hard, but yes, from now on, you have to work harder to make Papa very proud because he worked really hard for you guys. At least I was lucky to get an office job, but he didn't. But he did night shifts, did overtime. He just worked like crazy to give the boys the best. And still, without sleeping the night, he would still take the boys to their sports, to whatever.
Mm,
So I said, for him, you have to do so well that he is very proud of, you know. I think that helped because they wanted to do well. And Monica, my youngest son, got 98.4 in his HEC.
yay! That's so awesome. I'm so proud. So
Yeah,
proud of your boys. Yeah,
yeah. Did my
absolutely.
mistake.
No, no, that's fine. Yeah, and when you say like you felt your husband, right? You felt
Mm,
him around and you felt I can totally relate because for me my father's passing was also one of my turning point made me realize which made me think about, oh, what is life, what are we here for,
mm,
what is our purpose, and wanting to do more work on not only focusing on my career but wanting to do meaningful job, right, wanting to
yeah,
impact many people. So yeah, and at that time I could also feel my father, and not only my father, I felt my grandmother also a lot, who had
yeah, yeah.
who was very close to me and had passed long back.
Yeah, they are definitely around, Monica. It's. I think as you believe. That's a different topic. We can talk later. But
Yeah.
I have lots of instances where I know that these things happen and they don't just disappear, and they are around us.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you for sharing because I think it is important to share and um, share on how each of us have come up from a very tough situation. So thank you
Yeah.
for sharing. So the other thing what I wanted to ask, I know we are almost at time,
Mm.
was about your father, right? You
Yeah.
spoke about your father opening up the old age home, which I have it in my to-do list that I really want to
Mm.
go and visit and
Yeah.
spend
Yeah.
time and talk to everyone out there. So can you
Yeah.
talk a little bit on your father's inspiration, on how he started that,
Yeah.
and how it is going on right now?
Sure. Actually, he didn't open up. It's a joint effort, I think, by the senior citizen. There's a senior citizens group.
Mm-hmm.
So because I've been away from home and doing my own thing, I don't know a lot. But since I know my dad used to run around for government funding, and before, I mean, I remember going there before it was completed. So he and many other, in fact, uncles I know, Uncle Kerani, now I think the name. I'm sorry, but there are many uncles I know who are part of that journey. But my dad was, I think, kind of the main lead. Like he just didn't give up, and he did that. I think I remember my father saying, and I think I've been very lucky to be brought up by parents who are, I think, so forward thinking, even when we were growing up, and that's why maybe I mean, three of us are all married to different, not
Mm-hmm.
Manipuri, and we had no problems. Also, I remember my dad saying, there are lots of elderly people or old people in Manipur where the children are not treating them well, but they are ashamed to come out and say, okay, I want to stay in the old age home. So I
Yeah.
think my dad kind of went about educating these people and say there's nothing wrong with that. You don't
Yeah.
have to be treated like a maid, like a minai, in your own house. If
Mm-hmm.
your son, not all, but I think some are, treating them badly, and so my father was kind of saying you can come and be with your friends and
Right.
people your age and have a good life. I think that was a big, big thing for him because many people were not willing, even though they definitely needed to be in that old age home. Because, Manipur, the
Right.
if I say concept like that. But I think after that, I don't know how many years ago it was. I'm sorry, I don't remember the years. You will have to meet my dad and ask him the history. He's a history professor, so he'll love to tell you all that. Um, but after that, I think they have quite a few now, quite a few, elderly or senior citizens living there. Moi aduda adum sibas yaure dagi sorat nungla loin sole
Okay.
everything. The
Yeah.
doctor
And
dagi kaidagi.
yeah, so yeah, one of my inama had gone, and
Mm,
she
mm,
spoke so much about it, and of course I have heard about it too, but I haven't personally gone. But I just want to highlight to our viewer and to the people of
mm,
Manipur that sometimes we are like, oh no, all this does not happen, but it does. It happens in our
mm,
society, and I think the
mm.
faster we acknowledge, it's
Yeah,
better. And I think it's a great role your father has played, right, in empowering the
yeah,
people that yeah, it's okay if you're not comfortable, you are,
yeah,
you feel like you are no longer wanted. It's absolutely fine to go, come out of the house and be in a
yeah,
safe environment and be in an environment with people of your own age group, and
yeah,
probably like have similar activities or
yeah.
talks and have a
Yes,
very calm life. So
yeah,
yeah, absolutely
yeah.
Thagachari to Pabung, and I hope I'll
Yeah,
meet Pabung,
yeah.
and
You
talk
must, you
more
must.
about
He
it.
will love it. Yeah.
All right, so on that note, I'm going to share the picture what you have sent it to me.
Mm.
All right, so these are the two pictures you have
Yeah,
sent, and this is a picture of your husband, and
yeah,
he looks so young, and he looks like your son. Your son looks like him, I can
yeah.
say.
ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯂꯨꯍꯣꯡꯕꯩ
Yeah.
ꯐꯣꯇꯣꯅꯦ ꯁꯦ.
Oh,
ꯂꯨꯍꯣꯡꯕ ꯅꯨꯃꯤꯠꯀꯤ ꯔꯥ ꯑꯗꯨꯋꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯐꯣꯇꯣꯅꯦ. Yeah.
okay. How old was he
He
at
was
that time?
27, I think. Yeah.
27. And you were?
About 23, 24.
Oh, wow.
ꯑꯉꯥꯡ
Yeah.
ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯂꯨꯍꯣꯡꯕꯅꯦ.
It's really nice. Yeah, and I really love that, you bounce back, and I love that you shared the message that, you want to live, dress up the way he wanted, and that would be, an awesome
Yeah,
memory for him.
yeah, definitely.
All right. And this one is again at your wedding. Was
No,
this
no. This
picture?
this was recent. I mean, in 2012, akoy Anjubigi, my
Okay.
sister's son's Navjot, my function Bombay. Uh, that's the picture. Few years,
All right.
2012, I think, or 11.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. All right. So, is there any other last minute thought, message for our listener before we wrap up our call today?
Okay, I think I've said everything that I would love people to kind
Wait,
of.
I lost you. Oh, wait, wait,
Okay,
wait.
sorry.
Sorry.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yep.
Okay. I think throughout the interview, I have kind of mentioned what I believe we should all do. But again, coming on to the grief bit, I know there are in India the dikras who why call once you have lost your husband, people will say, I don't know, p machu sele color lipstick tie, whatever, whatever society. But apart from that, please appreciate life. The chat kida humi do chat kre, the person who has to go or had to go is gone. We all have to go one day. And the one, we are here. So, we heard, I heard at least, Lord Brahmana, he said he envies the humankind because you are born on earth. He couldn't be born on earth. I don't know whether it's true, but that's, I think I heard somewhere when I was a kid. So I think life, say I'm precious, it's very rare to be born as a human being. So appreciate what you have, be happy with what you have. Don't worry about what other people have. Compete with yourself, don't compete with others. And just, yeah, be grateful, work hard, enjoy with what you have. And yes, life is short, so enjoy as well. Like paisa tungchala mathakta pudau nate, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
enjoy. And that's what I do. I just started traveling. I just random book a ticket. My boys are big, so I do that.
Yeah.
Um, so I think, yeah, life's short. Enjoy, be good, live and let live. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think when grief and when people, somebody close to you part, it make you realize that, yeah, I mean, life is very short. And like you said, we cannot carry all the money or wealth what you accumulate. So, just enjoy the earth, right? That's what we
Yeah,
are dropped into, and
yeah.
have that purpose. And just to end on what you said about like how in our society, for people who have lost their husband, they talk about, oh, you
Mm,
should be wearing, I don't know, white or
mm,
plain color. My mother
mm,
like did the same, and I'm like, no. And my mom,
mm.
like, I love seeing my mom like dressed
Yeah,
up and beautiful, and I'm like, no, 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 you're not gonna be doing that.
exactly,
So
exactly.
I make sure that, like, she is just how she was,
We
right,
used to
like
be.
before. And
Exactly.
I don't
Mm,
think woman has to go through that. It's not like a
yeah,
stamp that, oh, you have lost your husband and you shouldn't be wearing this color or that.
yeah,
So absolutely, yeah, I love you, Jay,
yeah.
like,
And I think we have to change the society.
we
If they
have
are
to.
thinking like that, it's in our hand now. We have become the, I don't know. I mean, we are not even the new generation. We have new generation, but we have to teach that.
Yes.
And one more thing, if I can add, not
Sure.
connected
No,
to this,
definitely.
but ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯁꯣꯁꯥꯏꯇꯤꯗ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯂꯨꯍꯣꯡꯕꯗ ꯄꯣꯠ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯄꯤꯅꯕ ꯈꯣꯠꯅꯕ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯦ we need to change that. We need to make it simple. Instead of showing off, I mean, we need to teach the new generation to be simple, not just, yeah, for show off. Luhongbada, unpot, I don't know what's happening. I've not attended a wedding in the last 20 years, but I just felt like saying it.
Yeah, definitely. I think the core message is like, we should develop ourselves in values, not so much in the
Mm,
material,
mm,
outside show, which we see many, right? But I am
yeah,
very positive and confident, like in seeing many of the content now coming from
mm,
Manipur, that, there are a lot of people, and of course we are now focusing on women. So women coming up with, a lot of empowering speech and outlook and inspiring the
yeah,
people, and we need more and more of that. So with
yes,
that, yeah, thank you so much, Iche. Love you so much, and I'm
love
so
you.
happy that you have bounced back. And I'm sure there'll be moments, but knowing that you have so many people who loves you and living in gratitude and gratefulness, and having that energy to go out and explore the world. Right, life is short. So with
Yes,
that,
yes,
we'll end the show. And for anyone who is watching us, come on up in our show. This is a platform where we pause and sit down and share gratitude about people in and around us, because that's surely going to open our mind and our heart, and that will help us connect in our society. And with that also, we are going to identify people who are doing a lot of good, wonderful things. Like today, Pabung, we learned so much that despite the fact that he's retired, he is running the old age home in Manipur, empowering people to kind of think different, right?
yeah,
That hey, you shouldn't really be caring about people who are talking, who would say that, oh, my machagi de chat
yes.
kray ye.
Ah, mm, mm,
Instead of living in that fear and unhappiness, like forget it. Who cares, right? You're not happy, then like it's better to
exactly.
live. Yeah. So happy to hear that. And I think we should be talking more and more about people like that, instead of pointing finger, and which we are. I think our society has become very good in criticizing, like, oh, you're doing this, you're doing that. So
Yeah,
I really want you to come up and share like what good things people are doing, and share it in the social media. And that's only how we are going to improve the image of our society, and that would touch all of us. So, all right.
That's
Thank you so much.
And thank you to what you are doing, Monica. It's, I don't know how you are juggling with your kids and I mean living abroad. You know, it's not easy. You don't have help. So you're wearing many hats, right? Mom, wife, work, and this. So well done. Good job.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, but like I said, you have a will and you have that belief. It is 6 o'clock right now, and I know it's very late for you. So thank you for accommodating the time, and we'll be in touch.
My
And I'm
pleasure.
sure like you will come back again, because I think both of us have that thread of empowering people and inspiring people, and we should do that. So thank you, Jay.
Okay.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then see you.